Les Miserables is famous for playing in a black box. So although there's wonderful sets that come in and out, you are in a black box environment. We don't need to be in a black box. We give you the world. We give you the mountains of France. We give you the docks where Valjean works. You see the battleships. You see the full scale of Paris in all its majesty. And you go on this physical journey with Valjean.
To start the film, the brief was, we want a biblical start to the film. It must feel immense. The sort of thing that you see in Spartacus. Today we are in 9 Dock in Portsmouth Naval Base. This is a used dock, but they've never had filming before, and today has been a logistical adventure. Huge amounts of equipment, cranes, water in the dock, water out the dock, lots and lots of permissions, lots of red tape. They're not used to having hundreds of people not wearing hard hats, working in this environment or wading around in water, and certainly not singing.
Okay, thank you. Here we go, and right back.
I worked out a very simple rhythm, but to get 150 people to do that all together at the same time, and they had these huge wave machines and water cascading down, they were up to their chests in water, and they couldn't hear the music at all. So I'm on a god mic sort of screaming over the music to make sure that they could keep in rhythm.
And then I'm standing on a little stand with a microphone, singing the lyrics, basically, and waving my arms around like some demented windmill. But it was thrilling to see it. I mean, I had no idea how big it was going to be.
As the song went, I dreamed a dream, and I never think it would be this size. I mean, this is going to be an amazing opening to this film.
This afternoon, I was just remembering the lyrics of what I have done, sweet Jesus, what I have done.
My A camera operator, Zach, who's done many, many feature films, came out of the Portsmouth days saying that's the most epic scene I've ever shot in my life. And I was kind of, really excited to hear that.
Look down, you'll always be a slave.
I think the intimacy of certain patches of the musical become more poignant when set against the backdrop of a kind of epic France and an epic time in history. When Valjean's first release, we do actually go to France for a short period of time.
We are on location in this very picturesque town of Gourdon, which is at the foothills of the Alps, and it's doubling for the town of Digne. In the novel, Digne is described as a very sort of mountaintop village, and it is high on a mountain, sort of nearer to God. This clearly is a very accessible location. It's quite easy to get a crew in and out. But yesterday, in Tom's quest to get amazing vistas that will really establish and sell the epicness, we literally slogged up a mountain.
I'm just here, but we're driving in a 4x4 and we are right on the bloody edge of the mountain. I'm not exactly enjoying this, I have to say.
Everybody had to carry all their gear by hand up to the top of the mountain. Some people had a 45-minute walk up a very steep gradient, very rocky.
Top of a mountain, freezing cold, just at the very end of winter. I thought everybody was a real trooper, actually.
It really helped me to operate the first couple of days in France because I needed to work out how I wanted the camera to work musically. And I found myself on the first day, on the first shot, on the top of a mountain with Hugh Jackman, and the sun was setting. And, I hadn't necessarily decided in advance, but I found there was something about handheld that allowed me to move in a dance with the music in a subtle way and approach him using the waves of the music to guide me in, and also that created a very sort of visceral intimacy with him in that situation as he sung.
Freedom at last, how strange it is. Because you're in the real locations, because at the beginning of the movie I am standing on top of a mountain wearing pretty much no clothes and it's about -3 degrees and there is steam coming out of my mouth, it feels real. And for something like Les Miserables, it has to feel real.
We did feel like we were making a big French story, so it was just so sort of spiritually and practically helpful for everybody to start there and have that in the sort of DNA of the film.
Merci.
Greenwich, the Royal Naval College, is quite a well-known location in Britain for using for big-scale filming. And it hadn't occurred to us at the beginning because it's so famously British. But when we went down there and realised the classic architecture there gave us 4 sides, by some trickery later on there'll be some French roofs added, etc., we could really make it work.
Action, go! Napoleon constantly built elephants to celebrate his wild achievements in his Egyptian campaigns. And so he'd built one in the Place de Bastille. But at the time of Victor Hugo, it's very described in the book as this giant elephant that was built out of plaster, but he never got the money together. So this giant edifice just slowly rotted and the plaster began to crumble, and the ragamuffin children then all moved in as it was the only place they got to sleep that was warm.
In the show, you only hear mentioned Lamarck's funeral. One of the things I personally found most satisfying about making the film is seeing scenes that did not exist in the musical brought to life in the film.
Do you hear the people sing the song of angry men?
It was challenging because we had horses and soldiers and weapons.
On a heavy extras day such as this one, we're talking about 420, 430 people a day. As you can see, the scale of things is immense.
It's massively satisfying that we were able to do something so vast, so sort of full of story and so cinematic.
Boughton House is being used as Marius's family house, so it's absolutely brilliant.
Every day we'll remember that night and the vow that we made.
It has a great facade with a French mansard roof on it. And then inside it, the man who built it, Ralph Montague, employed lots of French painters, furniture makers, gilders, glass makers, and so on.
Boughton is unique in the sense that between 1760 and 1900 the house was not used, so it fits beautifully in with the period in which they're filming. And this is the very first time we've ever had filming at Boughton House, so we thought we'd start small.
Today we're at Boughton House for the wedding feast. The staterooms we're mainly using for the wedding, but in addition to that, Boughton was able to give us some of our interior tenements and the interiors of the lodgings for Rue de l'Homme Armé. When you approach a house, we do an awful lot of clearing furniture that's very precious, build trackway in so that all our trucks won't sink into the ground, and we provide our own power. We are 200 crew and then extras. That's a lot of people in your house. So we're just incredibly careful. Coming to Boughton is a dream come true, and hopefully they've enjoyed the experience too. Each location has been pretty challenging, but we've been able to expand some of the story that Victor Hugo writes about that the musical on stage just physically wouldn't be able to do. We hope that it gives it, more depth, and hopefully, we do it all justice.
Well done, guys, much better.